make amends. You'll be fine by me, my friend. Should there be a reason to pretend? Because you're being our dearest friend. Don't be afraid to grab my hand. Though it may not ever end, watch the stars and make amends. You'll be fine by me, my friend.
Running full system diagnostics. Machine status fully operational. System online. All stations are now enabled. Target dog the resistance. Operation overkill.
You will sleep now. A long sleep.
Cool. Hello, hello.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience as we resolve some technical difficulties with our connection servers.
We do seem to be getting everything figured out, so the players should start hopping in the lobby pretty. And then hopefully we can get this best of 3 under.
Tonight
So,
for you. Oh, go ahead, my friend.
thank you. Tonight we're going to be bringing you No Respawn versus Agency, and I will be Galen casting here with my buddy.
I'll be Ian. I'll be here casting with Galen.
So, Ian, what are you thinking about the match first?
I think it could be pretty interesting. Both teams here during our league are 3 for 3, and they've only played the same 3 maps.
Yeah, we are playing a best of 3 tonight, and I am not too curious about what maps they're going. The only interesting point is that so both teams have obviously played on Inferno 3 times, but Agency has played on Mirage twice to No Respawns once, with No Respawn actually losing. And it's kind of vice versa with Overpass, with No Respawn winning their 1 game on Overpass, whereas Agency lost. So we might I'm almost positive we'll see Inferno, but I'm not actually too sure on those other 2 maps.
I'm just really hoping I don't have to watch another Overpass game, I'll be honest.
I hear what you're saying. The last Overpass game, I feel like it left kind of a bad taste in our mouth, and that had nothing to do with what was going on in the game, unfortunately.
Care to explain?
I mean, when technical difficulties plague the server, I feel like
yes.
both teams are, and all the viewers, thank you for those who stuck through the last game. It was just rough on everyone involved, I think. I'm hoping we managed to get through this one nice.
It was a great opportunity for terrific banter, though.
And terrific it was.
Only slightly.
So the last time these teams met, it was actually on Mirage. So I like that map did go Agency's way with a 16-13 scoreline. So I'm really not sure what they're thinking, what No Respawn's thinking about Mirage at this.
Well, I'm sure that they believe that they are, a team to be reckoned with.
Yes, I'd have to agree with you. As although they only managed to really play 5 games during the season due to a forfeit on behalf of Farm Life for their final. They are still ahead by 5 rounds in the round differential. Do you think we're going to be seeing new maps, or same old as far as these?
You know what? Through the course of this league, we've been seeing the same 3 to 4 maps over and over again. So I am very much hoping that we will see, some nuke, possibly some.
I would definitely be okay with a nuke train dust stew map.
I would watch that again and again.
Maybe even some cash, as we aren't going to be seeing it next season.
Cash was always one of those maps that I had a love-hate relationship with, so not too enjoyable watching it from my.
Yeah, Cash it's a map that's been in the scene for a very long time at this point, so it really is kind of dried out, especially for viewers at this point.
Looks like both teams are just about ready to begin.
Just waiting on some swiggity swag, and here goes the Vita. I feel like this series will be decided depending on this veto. Oh, we have a quick
There
banning
goes
of
nuke.
and our hopes of an interesting series go out the window, I feel.
Yeah, that was only 1 of 3.
And I feel like as with the teams we have, they'll make it interesting no matter what's going on. We have some good teams here, and I feel like they'll do great things and bring us some really good rounds this match.
I'm hoping to see some really good 360 no scopes. You know what I'm saying? Oh, sorry, this is the wrong game.
I mean, I'll take them in whatever game I can get them in.
Dust voted out. You know what? They should bring back Dust 1. That's what they should do.
I feel like that really would make it a lot more exciting. Dust 1 not known to be a terribly balanced map, but
it was horrible.
It's definitely a unique.
Back in those Counter-Strike 1.6 and Source days, even then, no one wanted to play Dust. And it was pretty much, at the time, the only one available.
You know, I could really go for. We have Overpass by Agency as map. I could really go for bringing back Office, bringing it back into the competitive scene.
I don't believe there has been a hostage in a competitive scene for quite a while, has there?
It has been several years, I believe. I'm not sure if. Don't quote me on this. In fact, I can almost guarantee I'm wrong. But I'm not sure there has been a hostage since CSGO has been released in the competitive. Ooh, and an
Cash.
error by no respawn in the tick bans, picking cash when they meant to veto.
All right, so we're looking at an Overpass, Cash, and Mirage round.
I am. That is quite unfortunate for on no respawn's behalf. Accidentally picking cash to play on, but it does give us a map that neither of these teams have played on this season.
You know what? Nothing better than throwing a little monkey wrench into the cogs, if you know what I'm saying.
I mean, I am definitely, as a spectator, willing to watch a map that neither team was at all prepared. It'll definitely bring us some interesting Counter-Strike.
That's the best kind of Counter-Strike.
Something that does surprise me, no respawn second ban actually on Inferno. They did, which ensured that if they go to a third map, they are playing to the decider map on the map they previously lost to Agents.
Nothing better than a good comeback, though.
And if they do come back, it will make a pretty good story for them, I think.
We lost, but then we won.
A comeback story as old as time. Just waiting for the players to get back into the server here. So with our limited sample size, it's kind of hard to tell who the star players on each team are. But having played a few games with no respawn, I'd say that they've definitely got two players to watch out for, with Berlin and K. Those two have a solid team dynamic, and they managed to make out every round pretty competitive.
Can always be hard to say, as all players this season played incredibly well.
Oh, that is so true. It will be an interesting match, as actually no respawn came in as a team at the beginning of the season, but Agency, I'm not sure if you could guess this from their name, but actually came in as a team of free agents who banded together to make it to playoffs.
You know, that's actually a very good origin story. I was unaware.
I believe they and possibly one other team are made up of those who were left over from free agency.
Which other team may that be?
Unless I am incorrect, I believe Ricochet threw themselves together for the purpose of just waiting on Nuke now before we can get this game underway. And we are ready for the match to go live. It appears that No Respawn has elected to start on the CT side on Agency's map, bringing us straight into the pit. And it looks like it'll be a fast B play from Agency. Nice flash in from Caleb, but they managed to trade 2 for 2, with Nuke getting control of the site and going for a quick. It's now on to No Respawn to manage to retake the site. And 2 of their players have actually elected not to take anything, but it is Wiggity Swag with a quick frag onto Saber.
He's lucky he got that one out. I think he was hiding, waiting for him to come through.
I mean, if he keeps getting kills like that, this round looks like it's going to be going quickly in the favor of No.
And that's a team wipe for Agency.
A nice round by No Respawn, managing to get a good 3v3 retake against Glocks, which doesn't sound too terrifying, but when you don't have armor, they can take you down pretty.
It's that burst fire mode.
As everyone knows, burst fire is indeed OP. Agency has elected to almost go for a full force buy into this round, though, so it's definitely not 2 in a row guaranteed for No Respawn.
A risky maneuver, but a good idea in that you can easily match up yourself with your opponent.
It is interesting to see how, especially these less professional and more recreational teams do adapt to the new economy changes. First with the pistol rounds being increased in value when you lose, and now with the economy changes. 2 quick frags for either team, bringing it into a 3v3 situation, but with Agency having fairly good sight. We do have 2 kits on the side of No Respawn, so they have some time to work with, but they have had a player go down, bringing it back to a 2-on-2 with Ringleader getting a fragrant saber. But Ante quickly takes it back, and it is Ringleader with 3 HP and a quick return round from Agency there. That won't probably hurt No Respawn a bit, but their money is fairly good, so it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Appears they've elected to go for a pistol round.
Probably a smart move, as they do not get the benefit of that $1,900 going forward for the pistol round loss in the. They should be able to possibly get 1 or 2 frags with these pistols. It is looking like Agency is having a pretty good hold, though, and Ringleader is now the only player left with P250 and a Dream. And possibly 2.
The dream appears to be working.
And Saber Sochi appears to have killed. ending the round and giving Agency the first round lead of the match. That's not saying much as we are on round 3, going into No Respawn going in for an interesting buy, having an op on one player and a UMP on a scout on another, with their last player, Be Easy 4, electing to just hold on to the.
Good old Beezy. He's just here to show off. Watch him pull the ace.
I mean, with confidence enough to just keep a USP I expect him to, and he is there.
Well, Beezy, I'm sorry, but you have let me down.
I could not be more disappointed, and I expect him to make it up to me in future rounds. Again, though, we do have a lot of talented players here, and I have no doubt that he will manage to, if not make that strategy work in future rounds, he will definitely light up the scoreboard.
It truly was an unfair matchup in his case.
Sweetie Swag nearly managing to take down Nuke, but he does end up losing that guy. It is Ringleader now left to hold the A site with Caleb. An op and a UMP against nearly full rifles, depending on how you score the scout, of course.
Caleb, an unfortunate peek around the corner of Bank.
With that, you might think that No Respawn will elect to save, but Ringleader just running into the site with no cares, manages to get 2 quick. They are running out of time, though, and Antic runs in, getting a quick collateral almost. Quick 2 kills to end the round and give Agency the 3.
Respawn hoping to make another pistol round work for them. Pushing aggressively.
This is a worrying start for them because, of course, they are on the CT side, which has been fairly heavily favored as of the recent. This is Agency's map pick, though, so you can't draw too much from what's going on right now, especially as it is so early in the game. Looking at the scoreboard, we can see that Ringleader already is having a fairly good game, managing to top the server with 7 kills, only 5 rounds.
Making approximately 50% of all kills for his team.
The rest of his team will have to pick it up if they do want to come back in this game, and with a shot like that from Swiggity Swag, I feel like they can do it, leaving themselves up by 1 man in a 5 early in the round. It does appear Agency is posturing towards the B site, looking like they want to just smoke themselves on site and get a quick. A nice shot.
Absolutely beautiful.
Through the smoke, I think. Yes, indeed. Just off with. And another through the wall. Saber Ochi picking apart No Respawn in this round. I think this one will be a save call from No Respawn, as their money is not terrible, but it'll be hard for them to scrape together a buy going into the next round. I believe they will have $3,400 going into the next. So with a drop from Be Easy and Swiggity Swag, they should be able to bring something.
Some great words of encouragement from Agency towards No Respawn.
That's the kind of sportsmanship we expect here in this league. if you can't be positive on your team, you can always count on the other team to be positive for you, and that's something nice to know. No Respawn going for a double off setup, but still leaving Berlin on the UN. A nice pick there by Berlin, getting an assist for Caleb, and another one-man lead going into the. But with quick two frags, Agency now has the man advantage, and they do appear to be posturing towards the. With that kill by Antic, they may pull a rotation, but no. It appears Chubbs has been seen to. It appears we've got a flank coming in here from Antic onto the players, both playing from the stairs, bank and dumpsters. And Antic manages to get the backstep.
Frag through the wall to win the round.
That one really must hurt Ringleader's morale after that.
Caleb throwing out some light threats.
Although I do hope that the map that they did end up picking by mistake is not their second least favorite.
Perhaps it was a ruse all along, and it is in fact their greatest map.
We can hope so. A nice push there by Berlin, getting a quick frag and underpass, but no respawn is heavily tagged. 3 players equaling under a full health bar. A quick 2 frags there for Agency, and they once again have the man advantage. Moving towards the B site now, leaving Caleb to hold alone with 12-8. And he is down, but Swiggity Swag appears to be posturing and connector and gets a pick on to. But Nuke does not allow him anymore, and it's now be easy for to try and retake this.
It's probably within his best interest to save. Does appear to be the case.
That is probably a good call to try and possibly play for an exit, but he has been spotted by one of the ops. Chubbs missing his shot luckily, but be easy for having to run away and try and save what he. He does manage to get an AK in underpass. With that round, it is now 7-1 for Agents. Definitely showing some experience on this map, and they aren't doing anything too special either. I feel like they probably have a few strats that they're just saving up at this point. They have a firm grasp on this match right now. They really need no respawn really needs to start showing up a lot more to even make Agency have to start bringing out some of their strategies. And a quick pick there by Berlin onto Codester, followed up by one from BEZ4 onto Chubbs. This is probably the best lead that No Respawn has had in this match. Antic hunting the player he knows is long, and he does get the pick onto BZ4. But no respawn have a pretty good read on the round and are rotating heavily towards the A site. Swiggity Swag managing to get a double kill, leaving only Antic down on long, moving into back. The bomb firmly in control of no respawn.
I suppose this could be the beginning of a comeback for no respawn. All you need is that one round momentum.
I feel like the past rounds have just been a case of no respawn possibly not being as warm as they. Now that they're winning some gunfights, I feel like Agency will have to start bringing some strategy to the table to be getting onto those sites and be getting those.
Quick frag, swiggity swag.
If he keeps hitting shots like that, it is definitely anyone's game. A quick 2
And
kicks for him.
he continues indeed.
A beautiful shot there onto Antic. It appears no respawn has an inkling that Agency are posturing towards the B site as well. And I believe at least one of them was spotted out there by Caleb.
Sabrus appears to be holding back to make a decision on whether he should bring the bomb to B or A.
And looking at Coaster and Connector, he does get a pick on the Swiggity Swag, allowing the rotation to A, but with Berlin's pick onto Nuke, it is left with Sabrus and Bomb, and he does get picked off with the. It'll be interesting to see what Coaster decides to do here.
He is effectively surrounded and he's taken a perch up in the corner.
Does get the frag onto Caleb, though. He would need an ace to win this round, and he is working towards it with a third. He has the bomb and he has time. Running quickly towards the B site. He can get on site and try and plant.
Can't allow himself to be caught unaware.
It appears no respawn will allow him to plant as well. And he manages to get towards spawn. That is another pick onto Ringleader, bringing it to 1v1 against B. And he sees him running away from the bomb. BZ4 manages to get the frag, shutting down what would have been an ace clutch for Codester. One more bullet and that round would have been his. Beautiful round by him nonetheless.
I would agree, regardless of how that round would have ended. That was by far the greatest play of this match so far.
With these players making plays like that, it is really impossible to tell who is going to win any round, as any player can pop off at it. And honestly, that's kind of the Counter-Strike I like to see. There's something fun about not knowing who's going to win it. With Nuke winning a duel there onto Swiggity Swag, and now Antic pushing long, getting a quick pick onto Bees. There does appear to be posturing towards the A site by both teams. No Respawn having a pretty good idea that Agency are coming this way, but Ringleader getting picked off. Caleb managing to trade one back on Ghoster, who managed to clutch last round. It is a 2v4, make that a 2v3. Antic going for the plant now, and it is Caleb against 3 to try and win this round.
Chops catching the flank on Caleb.
Caleb completely surrounded and getting picked off by Saber's Ouchie with a nice shot on Caleb. That is 8 for Agency. But the nice thing about what's been going on for No Respawn and with the new economy is that they can continue to buy. But they elect not to, it appears. Scraping together a rough force buy. And they are picking up more as time. I'm a little bit surprised that No Respawn hasn't elected to call a timeout. Ooh, that's
Antic with lovely spray control.
It is now 2 versus 3, but there is still a player on the B side, and Ringleader gets the pick onto. BZ4 is in a good position here if Sabersochi decides to push it. But he does not, and Chubbs gets the frag onto Ringleader, who manages to get a leg on. This round is definitely winnable for No Respawn. With that leg it becomes harder, but both players on Agency are heavily tagged. Unfortunately, BZ4 probably does not know this. And he will be electing to save the AKE as pick, bringing the round score to 3-9 for Agency.
Agency really putting that distance back between them and No Respawn.
I'm wondering if they do favor the T or CT side on this. With what's going on so far. Ooh, Sabersochi losing the op to the bomb. Agency is definitely showing some good potential towards the T side, though. And with, again, CT side being as favored as it has been recently, I'm honestly looking forward to seeing what they manage to put together. And I definitely would not want to be in No Respawn shoes.
It may also just be a case of them being much more familiar with the T side on Overpass than they are with C.
That is possible. Either way, as this is a map fairly unfamiliar to No Respawn, I'm curious to see what strategies they will be bringing out on their T side.
Negev Rush.
Negev Rush, historically in the league, has worked about 70% of it. A nice jumping shot there from Swiggity Swag, picking off Sabersochi. It is a 4v3 for No Respawn. And with that nade from Nuke, it is now a 3v3. Antic getting the pick on to Caleb, and both players for No Respawn posture towards the beast. It is Codester taking the bomb up long though. He should be able to get a free plant on the. Both players there missing their name. It does appear that, as opposed to planting on the A site, Codester is going for the flank, and he's decided against it and is just going for the plant on the A.
That's all we had time for.
He will get it though, and he is in a fairly good position.
I just have to keep his head down and not get picked off from a distance.
He is against 2 ops, so if he manages to stay hidden, he definitely has a huge advantage going into this round, especially with that quick pick onto.
Swiggity Swag going for a fake. Does not work out for him in the end.
He was unfortunately looking towards Dumpster when he should have been looking towards Bank.
Effectively, he pizza'd when he should have zigged. French fried.
And that's something you really have to keep in mind while playing Counter-Strike. When to French fry and when to pizza. It is interesting that Sabersochi has been left with a machine gun going into this round. When Chubbs has this, a quick pick by Caleb onto Coaster, and they do manage to recover a gun.
Tick pulling off a quick double frag before being fragged himself.
And they do appear to have regained control of the round, leaving only Swiggity Swag with the P250 and all of this, of course, going off nowhere near where the bomb has been planted on B.
Swiggity Swag slowly making his way up, hoping to get a few frags on their way out.
At this point, that's about all he can hope for, though, as it is too late for him to even bother trying to win this. He might be able to get a pick on his Chubbs here, though.
And he does.
Giving up his own life in the process. An interesting decision considering the money that is on the side of agency. And now we have the Hail Mary tactics in for no respawn, with the 5 off. Obviously, they are just memeing about a little bit, but if they win this round, I think this map is definitely still winnable.
Oh, they all are, even with you're behind 14 rounds. You can always bring it back together.
So very true. But with that pick onto Ringleader by Codester, it will be a lot. Swoogity Swag having a rough fight against Saber Sochi and Long. Off versus us. Agency has actually slowed down quite a lot. That does not appear to be benefiting them in this situation, as they are trying to peek into. Oh, a beautiful nade there by Saber Sochi, and they have cleared the site.
Agency knows that at this point they have that wiggle room to take it slow.
So very true. And with that pick onto Berlin, it is now a 3v1, with Swiggity Swag having an op to retake the B site on O. And it will not be so. That will be Agency taking a 12-3 lead over No Respawn going into the second half.
Does appear by this point of the match, though, that No Respawn has evened out their kill for the most part.
They will definitely need their Caleb and BZ4 to show up a little bit more going into the second half, and definitely going into the next. With fairly good frags across the board for Agency, with Antic actually dropping 20 in the first. A beautiful half by Antic. So a lot of what will happen for the rest of this game will depend on the pistol round. Although it means less than it used to, a pistol round win still does put you in a great position going into a. No Respawn almost in a position where they need to win this pistol to have a shot at this game. Looks like a quick A-split play here from No Respawn. Already having 3 players towards long end. And with the pick onto Saber Sochi, Nuke trades it back, but gets traded himself by Swiggity Swag. Coaster now taking the fight and does manage to pick off Swiggity Swag, but Caleb gets him back, and there's fairly good A-site control from No Respawn, especially with that pick on Tactic there. It is now left to Chubbs to get back onto the site and retake, and the bomb will be planted in this situation. And with an aggressive play by Berlin, No Respawn manages to take the second pistol of.
moving forward. It'd be interesting to see how well that benefits them in the rest of this game.
It does appear that Agency is electing to save having lost the pistol on CT, so it should be at least another round for no respawn, but Agency will have a fairly healthy buy going into the next. And unfortunately for Agency, they have rushed A, and no respawn have rushed B, and they will get a free plant off of this, with Caleb with the SMG just watching for this rush. He will have heard it.
Antic shooting his teammate in the back.
And there go two predictable picks onto the side of Agency. Berlin coming in behind, and it is now only Chubbs and Antic left. But they have managed to get a pick onto Swiggity. And there
Quick
is
pick by
from
Ringleader.
Chubbs. It is just Antic hiding, and he does manage to get the pick onto Caleb before getting traded back by Ringleader. 2 kills on a round where they invested very little outside of a couple nades and I believe a Zeus. That was a fairly good round from Agency. And now Agency has a fairly healthy buy going into round number 8. Berlin being picked off in underpass will be a tough pill to swallow for no respawn, as they are all, the rest of them, moving towards the... But they do manage to trade back and pick onto Nuke. And with Saber Sochi holding along like he is, it will be tough for them to continue moving forward up. Although there have been 2 picks by no respawn, they will have to make something come of this, as Agency does have a fairly good hold on each site, with Chubbs moving towards the B site, and he should be able to get an angle before Be Easy came. And he got seen there. Both of the players heard and seen on the B site.
Chubbs very patient with his shots.
With that bomb plant and that pick onto Chubbs, no respawn has a really good shot in this round. It's left to Coaster, who does actually get the angle on Ringleader. He is now in a 1v1 against B. This wouldn't be the first clutch for Be Easy against Coaster, as he did manage to win the last one when Coaster was going for the ace, but it will not be the case this round with Coaster taking out Be Easy and bringing Agency to 13.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Fortunately for no respawn, they still have a fairly healthy amount of money left over, and they will be buying up into this round and can afford it. They're actually in a much healthier situation economically than Agency, so if they win this round, they will be once again in a fairly good... And that is a quick pick on to Sabres Ocheon Long, giving fairly good A control to no respawn, but a quick trade back from and no respawn has slowed down. They are now trying to get a few picks before they continue moving forward and deciding what site to go to. But Codestar in with another.
Both teams playing it very passively this round.
You can tell that both know how important this round will be. With that pick by Berlin onto Codester, That does give no respawn fairly good control of the A site, but there is a flank incoming from. He does manage to get the kill on to be easy, but he is right next to Caleb, who does manage to trade it back. And Chubb, seeing Berlin's legs beneath the smoke, I doubt he even saw what was going on. It is now left to Caleb in a 1v1, and he has
And he pulls it off.
I imagine Chubb's thinking he was completely concealed by that smoke there. Unfortunately, it was not even kind of the case. A great clutch there by Caleb, managing to get to 3K to win the round. And as expected, Agency has elected to save. No Respawn knows that Agency does not have the money or the guns, and so they are not giving any of the respect that they have been for previous.
Caleb visibly frustrated with that throw of his smoke.
Nuke and Sabresochi actually managing to get a pick on the ringleader, and now they have an AK, making this round a lot more dangerous for no reason. With those two picks, though, it will just be a question of trying to get off of the site, as Nuke does manage to pick off KLB, leaving only 3 players alive on no respawn at the end of that round. Again, a fairly good eco round from Agency, not winning but managing to get 2 kills.
At this point, Agency may be feeling a little bit of pressure as they're slowly losing that lead of theirs.
They have actually only won one round since the second half has begun. It appears that the confidence they were showing earlier is slipping. I think you're right there, right? A quick pick by both Berlin and Ringleader. Even if they aren't tilting yet, these frags that no respawn are getting will start getting to Agency.
Quick trade.
Now in a 2v4, and they should have free passage up line. It appears they have an idea a player was in bathroom 2, and Swiggity Swag gets the pick onto Antic, and now they know where codes. 99 health in a 1v2, they shouldn't be a problem for Codester, honestly. He is the clutch master. You can tell Berlin and Caleb really know what's up with this round, as they played this one incredibly slow and incredibly patiently, managing to get the pick onto Codester and win the. Not much for him to do into that one. No Respawn really is doing a great job carrying the momentum they gained in the pistol round forward in this half, going 5-1 in the half.
It's actually quite impressive to see a team recover after such a long loss.
A 12-3 scoreline really can be mentally jarring, and it is incredibly impressive. And now it is actually the save round once again for Agency. Easy starting off the round, followed up by Swiggity Swag. Now a 3v5, but a great angle held there by Codester, managed to get a decent bit of damage done on the. It will actually be Berlin in on the flank. Will he find Antic? No, not before Antic finds Swag Swag and Beezy trades. But they now know that they are safe from behind, and both players have to be coming from long and bathroom. And that is Chubbs being found by Berlin, leaving only Codester in a 1v. I imagine he's just looking for a gun here. Unfortunately, it looks like a gun he will not find, but at least he'll be able to keep his life and his gun going into the next round, where we will see Agency buying up once again. A 5.7 obviously not a huge investment, but at this point in the game, I think Agency knows that they can't be giving away everything with how the rounds have been slipping away.
They are definitely starting to feel that crunch.
Antic actually only managing 2 kills since the halftime, and Ringleader with the quick pick onto Chubbs. Antic trading it back and bringing his kills for the half on. Caleb getting double peeked, but almost full B site control going to the side of no reason. There will be a quick flank from Monster though, and it will be a 3v3 for the region. But Ringleader seeing the head of Nuke, and it will be interesting to see if Antic can get anything done from the Monster position. He does get the jump on Ringleader, but Ringleader is quicker getting the frag onto Antic, bringing it to double digits for no respawn. Only a 3-round difference. Ian, going into this half, were you expecting such a turnaround from no reason?
I would not say it was something I fully expected, but I knew it was a great possibility.
I'm glad one of us did, because honestly, I thought the game was over for no respawn, but they have showed me that they are mentally much stronger than I had already given up on this game, but clearly I shouldn't have, because these teams are incredibly talented. Caleb there getting a quick pick onto Coaster, and Berlin following it up with one onto New. A force buy here by Agency, so it will be tough for them to get anything going into this round, especially now. Antic actually managing to get the pick onto Berlin. He has really picked it up since I said he really needed to pick it up. It appears Antic is listening to me. Antic,
He's going for it.
Antic
Well
going for
played.
the ace. He needs one more kill to get the ace, and it is very possible. Be easy with the flank, though, and he knows Antic's position. But misses
Doesn't
the shot.
quite make it.
And that will be
that's
the pick
exciting.
for him. Now in a 1v1, be easy trying to get Chubbs and stop this round from being dropped. And Chubbs manages to take it, barely pulling this round together for Agency, off the back of Antic's hard work.
I'd be curious to see if that was a one-round wonder, or if we perhaps could see that a morale boost in it.
I'm kind of worried for no respawn after a round like that. They've shown a lot of mental fortitude so far, but when you have a 5 versus 2 and you manage to lose that, it can always be quite. Another quick pick there by Antic, but Caleb gets one back onto Chubbs. And Antic, it appeared like Ringleader wasn't even watching for him. I'm not sure how, but he's just running around these sites getting kills. He has 3 kills already in the round. And now no respawn are running away from whatever site Antic decides to. And with that last kill, Antic has already dropped 30 kills in the Sweetie Swag managing to get one back onto Codester, and it is still possible for no respawn, but it will be tough for them to make anything come together in this round.
Could very well still be anyone's round. All you need is those few lucky shots.
That is definitely true, especially with AKs and that pick onto Nuke. Both players within one bullet range, but Saber Sochi doesn't know that and is playing with Antic hiding on site here. If he gets these two frags, he will be in for the... And that will be an ace for Antic, up to 32 kills in the game and bringing Agency onto match.
I imagine at this point Agency is probably sweating bullets.
I think that, honest, for no respawn, if they don't manage to at least bring this game to overtime, it might be a lot worse for them than if they had just lost it 16. Losing the other team's map pick is one thing, but almost coming back on their map pick and then losing it in the final stretch, that can be really disheartening going into a map 2. Codester playing aggressive, getting a quick pick onto Swiggity Swag, and he does manage to follow away safe. But it will be Ringleader coming in behind Nuke, and he might get a pick on the... And that will be a free pick off onto the op, bringing it into a 4v4.
Felt that.
That one will be rough for him, but looking onto Long, it appears that no respawn is being watched by Agency. A nice pick there from BZ onto Coaster, bringing it into a 4 against. But with that flank by Chubbs, it will be tough. No respawn now, almost pinned in towards the ace. Be Easy with a nice shot onto Chubbs there. And Ringleader with one onto Saber Sochi. It is now Antic against 2 to clean up. Both players having taken some damage, but they're having none of it.
Pulled
and
an
running towards
fake
the
and
side.
running to B.
A smart play by them. They've seen what Antic can do, and you can tell. Once again, they are afraid of it. Caleb needing to plant the bomb, kind of missing the bomb site there.
Antics figured it out.
Question is, will he manage to pull away with this round? Did he see the gun barrel there? No, but he will see the head of Caleb, and now it is one bullet needed for BEZ to go down. But Antic will not find it. BEZ clutching around, barely off by the skin of his teeth, keeping no respawn in this game. 11-15 for a... Only would have taken one bullet there from Antic, and with how he's been playing, it's a miracle on no respawn's behalf that he did. Saber Sochi missing his spray onto Ringleader, who manages to get the kill with the... But it is Codester hiding in the smoke, and he will have an angle. Oh, he nearly lost that pick onto Swiggity Swag, and he will be traded back by BEZ. It is now left in a 2v4 for...
Ain't gonna lie, Dooley's was an interesting choice. I mean, it paid off for him, but it wouldn't have been my choice.
In most cases, I would have to agree with you. I think I would almost always take a USPS as opposed to... And with that, BEZ has ended the round, and Caleb has ended BEZ. BEZ really has come back in this game. He started it off first 5 or 6 rounds, not having a single frag, and now he is second highest frag on his... Second highest point value, I should say. Codester left a quick pick there on the Swiggity Swag. Every pick counts at this point, as no respawn can't afford to give away another round. This is the end of the game for them. Either they keep winning or the game... almost having to play flawless to stay in it. And with another pick there for Antic onto
Agency's playing very well this round. They know that if they really push and they really want that, they will actually get that final match winning.
you can tell they've definitely calmed down. Again, surprised these teams aren't taking timeouts, but it appears that Agency got all the time they needed because they seem a lot more composed going into this round than they were in the last. And with that pick onto Caleb, it is BE's with no help left as he gets picked off by Sabre Sochi and 16-12 for Agency going into map 2, which is Cash. And it'll be interesting to see how either team performs on this map, as it is possible that neither wanted to play.
I'm still got my bets on it being a ruse, and they totally wanted to play.
I would have to agree with you here. These teams know what they're doing. They know what's going on. They knew it was best of 3. You've got to think that No Respawn knew what they were doing in this pickup. The players are now hopping into the server, and this one will be really interesting to see. As was said earlier, neither team having ever played on.
Well, I'm sure they played this map, but they have not played it in this league thus far.
Yes, entirely true. I would hope that both teams have played on Cash. Although
to be fair, when I started CSGO, I had never played a Cash map in my life.
It would be a much more exciting game if it were true for both of these teams.
We should build our own map. That's what we should do, and we'll have that in our league.
I mean, if we built our own map, it probably still wouldn't be worse than Canals.
Let's just make Canals 2.
It's like if you took Canals but got rid of literally everything about the map, and it'd be...
Well, it'd be Canals, but with more memes.
How does one add add more memes to what is already a meme?
Well, zero memes right now. You could put in one meme. Technically, it would still have more memes.
I mean, you are right in a way. I'd have to agree that Canals is definitely not the memeiest map in Counter-Strike right now, especially with Vertigo being added to the competitive.
That is going to be interesting.
I believe it was played for the first time competitively recently. In show match between some Eastern and Western players. They actually managed to take it into overtime, showing that the map probably has some good potential.
Well, I always enjoyed Vertigo, even from the get-go.
I think it will be good to see it start to get played. I think that Counter-Strike was overdue for some map changes, although I do think it was an interesting one. It appears that Agency is ready. No Respawn waiting on 2 of their players.
I miss Sub-Zero. That's the one I missed.
I mean, with what Valve's been doing recently, with all the big changes, I wouldn't be surprised if we got rid of literally every character in the map and just dumped him out for now. Add Office into the competitive pool twice. I mean, Valve seems to be doing whatever they want right now, and I personally love it.
You know what? Past few years, competitive has been nothing but defusal maps. Let's have nothing but hot. I mean, it's probably a good way to half your player base really quick, but...
Hey, maybe you'll bring back the other half that left when they got rid of Office. Oh, and we are live here. This time, Agency starting on the CT side and no Respawn starting on the... This will be interesting to see, as CT is the favored side generally, but with how both teams were playing on the last map, they were both having great T-halves.
Hopefully no Respawn has had an actual good amount of time to cool down and clear their heads and hopefully keep the match relatively even throughout the course of it.
It'll be interesting to see who shows up for them in this map, because Berlin generally is a fairly good fragger for them, but Caleb was a lot slower than usual on the last map. If he can pick it up going into this map, it should be fairly competitive for now. It is now a 2 versus 3. Make that a 1 versus 1 with Coaster and... But Berlin is managing to get the plant.
Coaster looking to be sneaky, having a payoff for him.
A nice headshot there for him, and that will be the first round going towards Agency. Especially with that bomb plant, it is always a scary thing winning the first round of CT, because no Respawn can honestly buy up and have about as good, if not a stronger buy, than Agency will have in this round. But it does appear that they are electing to play... Nope. Every time I say they're going to save, they force raid. And it will be a force buy for no Respawn, trying to put some pressure on Agency. A tag back and forth from Swig to Swag and Chubbs. Both of them able to be one shot, and Chubbs will get the... Little did he know, there was another player waiting in. Berlin managing to get the headshot in what appeared to be the back of his teammate onto Nuke.
Shoot through the 5-hole there.
This round definitely is scrappy, bringing it down to a 3v with 2 players of Agency on site, all of them kind of leaning towards the highway side. Chubbs with a nice shot onto Ringling. And with that pick onto Caleb by Antic,
Sees the gun.
it is over. A nice recovery there for Agency. Those rounds are always a little bit hairy, but they managed to hold on even when no Respawn was present. It's appearing that it'll be a quick pistol towards the B site for no Respawn. Or as I would say, rush B, don't... In the game of Counter-Strike, when you are rushing a site, stopping often leads to death.
As I have learned very well.
And that does appear to be the case here. The slowdown really not working out for them. That is a nice clean round there for Agency, getting off to a nice 3-0 lead to start. But with the round loss bonus going up, it will be a fairly healthy buy here from No Respawn. A lot of damage traded back and forth there between Chubbs and Berlin. And that is already a pick onto Chubbs and complete mid control to the side of No. Another pick there by Caleb, and he gets traded back by Nuke. Coaster picking up a second onto Berlin, and it is a 3v3. All the players in the server still alive, working towards the A site. Ringleader getting a pick onto Nuke. They are moving on to the site now, and it appears they know one is Fork. Coaster going down to Swiggity Swag. They have site control, they have the bomb, and they have the plant. It appears Saber Sochi is electing to save his gun. That'll be the first round of the game, going in the favor of No Respawn, bringing the scoreline up to 3. Saber Sochi managing to get an AK out of the first troubles at least. Will he go for this though? He is posturing towards the site, and he is spotted, and he is dead.
Dance, dance, put that upper belt, put that upper belt.
The economy's still good enough to buy this round for Agency, but their money is not looking great. A buy if they lose this round will be tough. It's also looking rough on the side of No Respawn, though, with Berlin's teammates electing not to drop him over. It is possible that both teams are a little bit shaken up, especially No Respawn after that loss on. That being said, it is also possible that Berlin just decided he wanted to deal with it. So far, it's working out for him, getting a quick pick onto Chubbs.
I was really looking out there to pull out of this 1D.
He does get traded back by Saber Sochi.
I believe.
Agency with the quick rotation, they already have 3 players towards the site. Ringleader manages to get nuked, but Saber Sochi trades it back on the lead. Second for Saber Sochi, leaving only Ringleader in a main. Manages to get the frag onto Coaster though, and a tag onto Attic. Both players heavily hit, but so is Ringleader, and Saber Sochi ends the round with a 4K. Great round by Saber. Pause on the side of No Respawn. Not sure what quite for. I am assuming.
Sometimes you just need that break. Sometimes you gotta pee.
I think in this case they may be just hoping to get Berlin's ping down a bit, as he is playing with nearly a quarter of a second on the 270 ping on his end current. It is indeed a technical pause. with Berlin's internet becoming somewhere along the lines of dead.
Might be looking at a complete drop.
It will be
So his
interesting
ping-
to see what they do.
His ping is slowly coming down.
Sometimes all it takes is closing a few internet browsers and realizing you really shouldn't be updating your games on Steam while you're playing.
Appears his ping has returned to a much more stable level and they are ready to unpop.
Back into the game here. Their money not looking great. Berlin being left once again with the pistol, while the rest of his team has rifles, including 2. I don't think they trust his ping quite yet.
Quick pick by Chubbs.
Fortunately for No Respawn, that was their pistol player, but a frag is always a frag, and it'll be interesting to see how they recover. They are actually working towards the B site, where they haven't heavily favored. Agency with the quick rotation over, they already have 3 players on, ready to get on the site, and 2 more players in. With Codester taking main control, they know that this will be a
Swiggity Swag knew he was there, waited for him to pop his head.
Unfortunately, 2 quick frags traded back on the side of Agency. Caleb managed to get a pick on the nuke, though. And Codester is quite heavily lit. This round is still very winnable. With that pick on the Saber Sochi, it is left in a 1v1 with 16 health left on Codester. And that is the round for Caleb, running out and managing to get the frag on.
Caleb playing much better at the beginning of this round than he was at the last round.
An aggressive play there by Agency. It did not work out for them as Caleb manages to get 2 quick kills onto. They're pushing from all sides, and it will be on to Ringleader. Saberzochi pulling out the meme gun and getting. That is 2 kills on the side of Agency. They can still win this round. It will be interesting to see whether or not they elect to save the. And with that, it doesn't look like they'll be given a choice in them. Antic does manage to get the kill on Swiggity Swag, and may have a chance to save this off, as No Respawn seems to be wanting to try and defend the bomb and not give away any more frags, as their money is not looking great. But BZ4 goes down to the off of Antic, leaving only Caleb left alive in the round. An expensive round there on the side of No Respawn, when it really should. 3 scopes on the side of agency. They seem to be favoring them quite heavily, and it is not working out so far with Berlin getting a pick onto. This is quite a scrappy buy, and it's not working out terribly as Coaster trades one back onto Swiggity Swag. It is a 4v4. With no respawn not really making a move towards any site, but getting a lot of picks for their efforts, leaving it in a 2v4 now. Pick by Berlin, and Attic manages to trade one back on Berlin, though, at the cost of half of his life. But no respawn has gone towards the B site and will have a free play. Unless they keep peeking Attic like that. Caleb coming in clutch once again, managing to take down both Attic and Nuke into that. The way these rounds go back and forth, you can really tell that any of these maps could go any. Quick mid-run.
It would appear that Berlin looking to pull off a little surprise, pays off quite well for him, ends up getting fragged in the end.
And it will be a 2v4 with only one AK on the side of agency, which they have just lost, leaving only Nuke with the auto. It'll be interesting to see whether or not he can recover the AK. And with that, we do have the first lead of the game going to the side of No. A quick play there, both towards mid and B. Toaster going down, and Nuke going down, but not before Toaster can get a pick on. And it's only Saber Sochi who quickly goes down on the B side. And now there is free reign for No Respawn to get the plant, leaving it in 2v. Nice frag there by Ringleader. Only Attic left on the side of it. That is 6-4 in favor of No Respawn. It seems to me that No Respawn seems a lot more comfortable on their T sides, where they can just kind of play around.
I think they play better as an aggressive team, and T side is more or less a much more aggressive position to be playing.
That is definitely true. And it appears now that they've got their money under them, they are managing to make a lot more. Give these players the T side, a few AKs, a bit of money, and some confidence especially, and they seem to be able to do miraculous things. We do have Coaster going in with a flank. He may actually get the pick onto Berlin, and he will. That is an AK salvaged, which he will likely elect to take into the next. With No Respawn's money, though, the question is, will they let him? Although the confidence seems to have returned to No Respawn, they do seem to be playing this one safer, not even bothering trying to hunt Coaster.
Coaster looking to get a couple of frags before the bomb goes off. Doesn't look like they'll find them.
That's now 6 rounds in a row for no respawn. They really are putting on a show here on the T side of Cat. I am starting to think perhaps they did pick this map on purpose, because they really seem to know what they're doing, with Caleb getting a quick pick out there onto Codester through a gap in the smoke.
It'll be interesting to see how they play after halftime with the team switch.
I am hoping that No Respawn does have something to show for their CT side, which they didn't quite have in the first half of the Overpass game, because these teams are playing well, and I honestly want to see more. A nice pick there from Berlin onto Antic at Truck, and he gets a second one on site onto Chubbs. Caleb taking out Nuke at Truck once again. The last player being Saber Sochi, who might just choose to stay on the B site. I believe he has been spotted getting out, but he does manage to get the kill onto Swiggity Swig. Unfortunately, all of No Respawn knows where he is, and even if he does manage to get 2 kills, he does lose his life in his end. No Respawn now doubling the number of rounds of that of Agent. And it will be a pistol round on the side of Agency. They have shown that they can make something come of these before, but this one will be tough. Saber Sochi with the meme gun getting a quick tag onto Swiggity Swig. And a nice quick run there from Codes. But the nade from Ringleader does manage to take Saber Sochi out. Another frag there by Ringleader. And it is now a 1 against 5 in the hands of. And a nice peek there by Ringleader brings the scoreline to 9-4 in favor of No Respawn. You can tell No Respawn's feeling quite comfortable now, just running through the smoke in mid. And it is clear that possibly Agency doesn't quite know how to handle No Respawn on this. And maybe that they're a lot less practiced, as a lot of their smokes seem to be just a little bit off. But with 2 quick picks going in their way to the one of No Respawn, it looks like they might have themselves a 5th round on their hands. If not a 6th going into halftime. Ringleader going for a light boost. He's seeing if he can even out the playing field. There is a player watching, and he does miss his shot, after having to fall back to 1. Agency playing a nice cautious 2-2 setup, not wanting to give anything away to the side of No Respawn. It will be Ringleader flanking through Z with the up, and he does somehow miss that. I don't know how that missed, because it looked right on him to me. Saber Sochi managing to get a pick onto the easy. But Caleb trading it back, and Ringleader getting Chubbs. It is now on to Antic in a 1v2 against 2 ops. Beautiful.
Beautiful shot.
I didn't even see him, but somehow he managed to get that shot and win them around, making sure they have double digits going into the second. And with that, it will be a fairly scrappy buy on the side of Agent.
Gotta buy what you can when you're in round 15.
Indeed you do, and you can tell because it is No Respawn with the quad offset.
Coaster playing close.
And he manages to get quite a bit of damage done for his efforts, getting a quick 2 frags onto the side of No. It is always fun to meme around with ops, but on the T side especially, unless you're playing Dust 2, it is a risk. That is one pick for BZ onto Chubbs, though. And they actually have fairly good access onto the A site right now. Of course, they don't know, but only Attic is playing the A site with 3 players fairly close to the B site. That is their mid player down, leaving it in a 3-on-2 with only Caleb and Bees trying to get onto the B site with 2 ops. Nuke making a bold play, peeking out against what he knows to be up. And he does get spotted and legged by Caleb. And now with Antic going in for the flank, BZ4 getting the pick onto Saber Sochi. It is left in a 2v2 with only 18 seconds left. And Nuke manages to win the round for Agency, making the halftime scoreline 5-10 in favor of No.
Going into the second half here, it'll be quite difficult for Agency to pull ahead after that 5 lead that No Respawn has upon. Caleb appearing to be playing much better this round.
He definitely is, but unfortunately, BZ4, who managed to really come into his own going into the second half of last game, is lagging behind one. Even with the 5-round lead, they will need him to pick it up to be able to ensure they can close out this second map and take it to map number 3. Ringleader once again putting on a very good performance, though. It really has been the Caleb and Ringleader show, managing to have each of them go. Better than 2 for 1, KDA.
Just notice Ringleader's picture is a dog. It's a nice
Indeed
dog.
it is.
Is that his dog?
I really hope that's his dog, but I'm not going to be mad if it's not, because he gave us a picture of a dog regardless.
It's a good boy.
Aren't they all? It is a quick play here out for Agency, out towards the B side. Berlin trying to get what he can done, but Caleb going down quick tactic, Berlin trading one back. And Chubbs managing to take down Berlin, but Codester wanting one for himself, takes down his teammate Chubbs. And that is a nice easy shot there for BZ4, and he does manage to close it out on the Saber South. But Ringleader is extremely lit, and it is into a 2v2. Both players now, only Ringleader left. One bullet will take him down. He will have a tough time managing to get this retake. Antic manages to close it out with 3 kills on the round, giving Agency their 6th round and a window into this, possibly into this.
A win of that pistol and will definitely give them that momentum that they require to pull ahead ahead of No Respawn.
Indeed. I think that with a win like that, especially on the T side, it is very. But with
Very
that
aggressive
stack,
middle push from both teams. Interesting.
seems to have worked out better for No Respawn so far, though. Struggling a bit with that double boost. I think they decided only to boost one, and it did not work out with Swiggity Swag going down, only getting 1 bullet on. They're doing what they can, and it's working out well for them with 2 quick frags by Berlin and Caleb. And it appears we do have a pause coming in after this round. Nice shot there by Berlin. And the bomb is working towards the A site from high. Ooh, that must be rough there on the side of No Respawn. Berlin not checking his corners and gifting Nuke a free. And an AK at that. It's now left onto the Mac 10 of B4 Easy. And he does manage to get the first kill. He's looking for the second player, and that is 2 kills for him. Will he have time, though?
He should have plenty of time.
And he knows there is an AK and A main. That is a great round for Be Easy for bringing it down to the wire. Well, that was a full eco on the side of no respawn, was it not?
I do believe it was, yes.
That one must really hurt Agency. They can still afford to get a decent buy, but no respawn is in a great position now as they have fully reset Agency, only getting $1,400 going into this. They did get the bomb plant, so they do have a bit more money with them, but you can tell their economy is really not good, and they're quite unsure of what. Unsure of if this timeout is tactical or technical. No one in the server having unreasonably high ping. It does appear that it was attack pause, and the game will continue. With a little half buy here for Agency, electing to keep their money somewhat high. No Respawn really likes their ops, going for a triple op setup into this round. I do respect that they realized 4 ops was too much, so going into their CT half they decided to dial it back and only go with a triple op setup. It is much more reasonable of them, showing that they do really have their heads into.
Personally, I've always figured myself 3 ops is a little much.
I mean, I would have to agree most of the time, but we'll see how it works in this round.
Agency getting chewed up on their push towards A there.
That is the nice thing about this map. There are definitely positions to hold with 3 ops. You have one towards each side, and you are in a fairly good position. Looking at their money, they are in quite a good position now. Being able to afford to lose possibly a couple rounds, but with Caleb actually electing to take the hit, he does have it. So a full buy and not very much money or utility on the side of Agency, but 2 quick frags in their favor on 2 of the ops of no. That will be a frag onto BZ from BZ4 onto Chubbs, and that is the bomb down. And they know. Codester trading out BZ4, but Caleb in does get traded out by Saber Ochi and Nuke, and it is now a 1 against 3 with an off in the hands of Berlin. It'll be quite the tough retake for him now. And with that, the round is over. A nice round on behalf of Agency, really picking apart the triple up setup, and that one will hurt no. It appears your premonitions did come true. A fairly scrappy buy coming in from no reason. Hopefully, looks like they're hoping to catch Agency off guard with what they have. Electing to have a shotgun in this round, and a quick scout headshot onto Nuke from Ringleader. Make that 2 as he takes down Coaster. He is playing out of his mind. 2 quick frags in mid, and this round is heavily in the favor of no respawn out of nowhere. Saber Sochi missing his shot, and now he is down to 16. And with that aggressive push, it is now a 1 against 1, with Saber Sochi following quickly behind the rest of them. A great
No
round
respawn.
out no respawn.
No damage taken that round by no reason.
It appears like that they really do know what they're doing on this. They have fooled us quite heartily in telling us they picked it by accident, but they seem quite prepared. They definitely seem to know what they're doing going into it. Looking Sweetie Sway choosing to keep the shotgun going into this round, that is a bold choice for Caleb spraying Nuke through the smoke entire. Does start the round off right, and deals a lot of damage on the Coaster as well. No Respawn and Agency haven't even seen each other yet, but they're already down nearly 2 players. This could not be going worse for them right now. It appears that Attic and Berlin were playing a little game of tag through Squeaky there. Ringleader getting a pick onto Codester through the wall. And now it is a 3v5. With the Scout, a CZ, and an AK left and nearly no HP on Chubb. And Saber Sochi will go down, making it in a 2v5. Nice shot there on Dantic by Caleb. It is only There's only Chubbs left with 3. And Caleb will. He really has shown up like he needed to last night. Currently leading the server with 25 frags.
I don't want to be, the one to call a match before it's over, but this does appear to be in the favor of No Respawn. It looks like we probably will be seeing a third round.
And it does appear the composure of Agency is kind of shaken. With only Saber Sochi choosing to buy anything into this, he will have next to nothing going into next round. Swing this way, keeping the shotgun, and it is working out for him this round, as he does get 3 kills.
They were dirty kills, but they are kills nonetheless.
I'm honestly still not sure if Agency knows where he is. Swiggity Swag getting that Mag 7 for. He should not have been able to do that. He fired and missed several shots before managing to get his first, and it didn't appear that Agency had any idea he was there. And that buy-up last round by Saber Sochi has indeed hurt him, as he is now only on a UMP with limited utility, going into possibly the last round of the half. But thankfully for them, No Respawn have gone for their patented too many ops. Coaster getting
one up.
Nice spray. Swig this way, trading it back though. And that is down to 1 up only, with Ringleader having the remaining one. Ringleader and Caleb left in a 3v2. But B-site control is on the side of Agency. They can move in and try and get a plant, but they are being kind of cautious. Not moving towards the site quite yet, and it paid off for them as they get the flank out Caleb. It is now Ringleader in a 3-against-1 with an op to retake B-site. He will likely elect to save this gun no matter what the money.
He knows he has plenty of wiggle room for his entire team if he doesn't get this round.
Indeed. And it does look like he's just trying to get some more damage done, because I think they have a good read, and rightly so, that the money is not quite working out great. In the favor of Agency does manage to take out 1 more gun. They will save the up, but only 2 guns going into the next round, and their money is still not looking. No Respawn being much more reasonable going into this round, only bringing 2 ops to the 1 scout and 1 op of These teams sure do like their scopes here.
Well, nothing feels better than a bolt action scoped right.
That is very true. And with that quick pick on the Chubbs, it is favor of No Respawn early on into the. Luckily, they were able to recover the gun that was dropped in mid, and now there is no scout in the lineup of Agency. Berlin going for an aggressive play. Should have been killed there, but manages to actually deal the worst of it to. But he was a bit too aggressive, and Codester expects the repeat, managed to get the kill on. It does appear that Caleb is pushed possibly into Shroud there, maybe into Squeaky. Indeed, he is playing Shroud, and he does get 1 kill, make that 2. He is spotted though, and Attic does manage to get the trade. They do manage to get the plant, but this game is over. We are taking this one to a 3rd map, folks. A nice game there from No Respawn. This one going. Even though the game started off a little bit shaky for them, from round 6 or 7 on, this game was firmly in the control of No Reason.
Going into this third game, both teams are gonna have to keep their heads nice, clear, and calm.
Of course, this is the map these two teams have met on once before. The first time they met, it did go 16-13 in favor of Agency, so they do have a track record here, and they've shown that both teams are capable of playing this map and making it. So what are your predictions going into this last map here, Ian?
I think that if Caleb can keep up his kill counts, he can keep his head calm, and he can actually make some clean utility throws, I think no respawn has.
I'd have to agree with you. It appeared that after the first map, No Respawn got their heads in the game, and it seemed almost like at points that Agency forgot that they were playing one, because some of the plays they made, like with that Meg 7 on that pistol, you can tell that their head isn't totally in the game. After their almost loss on Overpass and that loss on Cash, it appears that the momentum of this series is firmly in the hands of No Reason.
But I do love a good surprise, and I would be absolutely overjoyed, to see Agency pull off.
And I think you're right that it might be a bit surprising, but this is a new map, this is a new game, and these could very well just be new players showing up to the server. Of course, they will be the same players in the literal, but that definitely wasn't the same Caleb we saw in Cash as the one we saw in Overpass.
You know, I think we should give them about 20 minutes. They can go refresh themselves, have a shower, a nice cup of tea, and we'll all come back, and it'll be like we just.
I mean, after how this series has gone, the roller coaster it put me on, I could definitely use a few.
I mean, I'm sweating.
I am excited to see how this one turns out. Both teams getting into the server. It would be exciting to see either of these teams moving forward in the playoffs. I think that both of them are capable of bringing together some fairly good games. Something I did notice in the last map, the strategic depth that seemed to be in place for No Respawn was a lot higher than that of a. I think on these more common maps, they definitely have an advantage, as they are a team. They have been playing with each other for some time. And although in individual gunfights, possibly the teams are fairly similar, the experience as a team for No Respawn really seems to pay off for more maps like Cash. And I think Mirage is one of those maps. Caleb getting a nice warm-up shot there on Dandic's face.
I feel like Mirage has become a much more common map than it once was in the past.
Mirage definitely taking a front seat in almost every competitive scenario. Most series taking place on Mirage, and second map in most series has been.
It's practically Dust 3 at this point.
It really is, with Dust 2 falling out of favor since its re-release. Still obviously a popular map, but competitively, I think most teams really like their Mirage.
I do believe Dust 2 has fallen out of favor simply because of those cheap shots that you can make down mid through either side. Loved by casuals, but hated by the professionals.
I completely agree. Don't get me wrong, I love Dust 2, but especially with how long it's been almost identical in the competitive scene, I feel like most teams are just getting somewhat done. And I think that it may be the next, although it did just get a re-release. I'm curious to see what the next map removed from the map pool will actually be. We are going into a knife round here. Of course, as this is the decider match, neither team has favor on choosing which side of the map they. No respawn going for a quick play through mid, whereas Agency have taken full control of the ace. Caleb getting a quick pick there onto Saber Sochi, and that may pay off for them big going into this knife round. Quick trade there. And the numbers continue to favor no respawn. But it is going back the other way. It is now a 3-1 against Antic and 10 on. Let's see where no respawn choose to start. As I was saying before the knife round, what do you think the next map will be to leave the competitive pool? The creator of Cache has been showing a lot of his work on what he's calling Cache 2, or an update to Cache, and a fairly major one is that. At that,
Like a whole new map set,
uh,
or
a new map in a much more major sense than Valve generally changes their maps, but it will still definitely be Cache that we will be playing on it.
that'd be quite interesting.
I'm looking forward to it, as many agree that Cache has become quite a tired map.
Alright, here we are, round one of our third game.
Game they just feel more confident on. Nice dink there onto Antic, and another nice shot from Coaster. He has gotten both kills, but that is some B-site control going to Node. With that pick onto Antic, they are on an even playing field, and it is just up to Caleb to try and get the bomb to the site. With Chubbs getting onto the site though, and that shot onto Berlin, it may honestly be better for them to move back towards the A site, which they have read, and they should be able to get the bomb down before Agency can do anything to contest them. Ooh, an aggressive play there from Swiggity Swag does not work out. Now it is Caleb on next to no, but with a bomb plant. That was a bold move.
Agency's round.
Indeed it is. A bold move there for Caleb, electing to take that fight nearly cross-site with a Glock. Again, as said in the first map, I think the Glock is a little bit overpowered, but still not great at range. As everyone knows, Glock overpowered, common knowledge in Counter. Once again, the plant for the T side in that round, which means win or lose, they're looking good into the next round, and they will honestly buy a little bit better than Agency will have to work to get to win this round, but that quick pick onto Ring is a great start for them. Nuke manages to win out that fight, but Caleb quickly trades one back. And it is a 4 against 4 with lots of tags on the side of Agent. And no respawn has managed to take full A-site control, with Berlin getting a beautiful shot on that. Left with only 5 HP and a dream, but if that dream was on a bomb plant, it has come true. Swiggity Swag going down in spawn, but both players for Agency heavily tagged. It'll be quite tough for them to manage to get anything done. Nuke going down to BZ4, and only Saber Sochi with 7 HP to retake. BZ4 managing to win another gunfight, and that is the end of the second round, with no respawn getting a true reset onto Agent. Quick peek there by Swiggity Swag. Nearly manages to take down Nuke, but Nuke does escape able to take a few more bullets. Some damage going back and forth from either team. But of course the kills are going in favor of No Respawn with their superior. And now there are only 2 left on the side of Agency, with 17 health on Antic and some armor on Saber Sochi, which he may just want to save it. He is spotted out and tagged up a little bit. And he does peek out a second time. Now both players heavily lit. Saber Sochi going down, losing his armor, but Antic managing to get a pick on the count. Does get shot going into the ladder room though. Three rounds in, and the score is 2-1 for No Reason. It will be another save here from Agency, putting just a little bit too much into last round. They're going to save one more and have as full of a buy as possible into the next round. That is a bold call by them, giving No Respawn the quick 3-1 lead in this game. Provided, of course, that the frags continue going the direction they are, with Caleb and Swiggy Swag getting 2 quick kills on the Antic trades one back around to Berlin, but his position is now known, and they also know there are players in. The bomb should go down safely with Ringleader getting Nuke and Swiggy Swag getting Saber Sochi. It is only Antic left, and he has been picked off by. That will be 3-1 in favor of No Respawn. Pause here coming over from Agents. Looking at the kill death on No Respawn, you can tell that these players are really ready to show up. The only player that's lagging behind at all is Ringleader, and as we saw in the last 2 maps, he's not really someone to worry about. He has been showing up this entire.
Ringleader definitely has the capacity to bring it back. Caleb himself continuing to keep his momentum going.
You can tell that at this point, all the players on No Respawn are feeling it, with each of them having their time to shine. Swiggity Swag leading the server with 6 frags. And then you look over at the side of the Agency, and going into this buy round, you gotta hope that they can get something going, with Saber Sochi still not having a single. This isn't totally unreasonable, as they have only had 1 half buy round so far, but he will need to start performing in this game soon. With that pause and him not having bought yet, it is possible that he just had to go to the bathroom since the start of this game, and it has been getting.
It has been quite a while.
Indeed it has. Some of these players probably didn't want to get cold between the games and have been electing to stay at their computers during the half times between games. These smokes look like they're going to be for a default A hit. A nice nade there onto the side of No Respawn from, and that's a lot of damage on a lot of players. A lot of the smokes looking like they might have missed. Berlin getting a beautiful shot on Tantic, and their default smokes already gone. They're going to have to do whatever they do without the aid of their smoke grenade. Only having 1 left on the side of Berlin. Ringleader managing to get the kill onto Saberazoshi, who was holding the CT position, and now it is 3-2 in favor of No. They will have a good chance of holding this one, as it is a double op setup on the retake. It'll be interesting to see whether or not they go for this. With that kill onto Chubbs, it'll be tough, and he is being watched by Berlin. Does get the kill. That is Nuke going down with the second op. A questionable call to go for that with the 2 ops in the 3v2.
That round started looking a little hairy for No Respawn at the beginning, but they were able to pull it out near the.
It was great for No Respawn. They really do seem to have quite a bit of composure at this point in the game. And they're choosing to go with a double offset. No Respawn and these ops.
Agency pushing stairs hard.
Berlin managing to take down one of the players, and the rest of No Respawn seems to be going towards the B site where only Chubbs is playing. But it is Nuke pushing up in mid, and he does seem to know that there is movement towards them. He is going in for the quick flank, and may catch these players off guard. That is incredibly unlucky for Chubbs. With the Zeus close range, it could have been a kill, but instead it was not. A nice kill from Nuke onto Berlin, and he will be able to recover an off, but will he be able to do anything? Indeed he will. 3v2 with Antic having 5-7 and Nuke having the off. This retake isn't likely, but it's definitely possible at this point, especially with Nuke hitting shots like that. It is now a 2v. With Nuke getting another kill on the round. And this could easily go in favor of Agency.
He pulls it.
With that kill on the diffuser. That was
He gets
beautiful
it
by
at the
Swiggy.
last second.
What a nice save on the round by Swiggy Swag.
He had roughly half a second left on that one.
That is rough. That one's, even though they had no business winning that round, that loss really has to have hurt Agency. Nice double nade there on the Swiggy Swag, dealing quite a bit of damage. It appears that No Respawn has a fairly good read on Agency setup, and they are moving towards the B site more and more. But Chubbs is there with the op and manages to get Bs, and No Respawn is now starting to doubt themselves and are peeking into the ops everywhere they go, as there is a triple op setup on Agency. This looks like it might be a problem here for No Respawn. They really can't seem to figure out what to do against all these.
Mirage is a much better map for multiple ops.
Especially on the CT side, once again, with a nice sight line down from every site. You can put an op on watching both spots on A, one in mid and one on B, and still feel like you could use. Knowing No Respawn, they may choose to find a spot for more, going with the 5-op setup if they can. It is now only Caleb left, and he does get legged by the 15 seconds left. This one will be tough for him. And he does go down, but nearly takes down Codester in the process. Unfortunately, can't connect that last bullet. We do still have enough money on the side of No Respawn to muster another buy, but after this, their money will start looking a little bit grim, as Berlin and Swag are. On the other hand, you have Agency with three players having over $2,000 and 3 offs on their side. Agency with a quick rotate, already having 3 players watching the B site, even though only 1 smoke has been thrown towards it. These ops are just picking apart no respawn, and they can do nothing about it. Swiggity Swag with the backstab though, and this round has just become doable. It is now a 2v3 with the bomb getting planted. But one player coming from apps, and that is a pick for Swiggity Swag. Another one on Cat. Cat player goes down. The last player is Codester in the apps. Will he be watched for that? Be easy for. It's expecting it, but he does look away at the wrong time. Still manages to get the kill. Nice headshot onto Codester, and that is 6 rounds for no reason. The real question is, what will Agency decide to do now that they can only afford 2 ops?
3 ops. I mean, they'll buy 3 ops.
It appears they're playing more conservative after losing that round, as their economy has been hit quite hard. So instead of 3 ops, it is 1 op and 2. And already it isn't going well with a quick pick on to Saberzochi. The Coaster manages to trade it back and is killed quickly by Berlin. It is now only the scopes left, and A-site control, not totally on the side of no respawn, but they're in a pretty good position. With Nuke getting the frag onto Berlin, though, and 2 players fairly heavily lit, it might be kind of dangerous here for no respawn. Caleb reading the player coming catwalk, and it is now a 3v1 against the scope. And that is the round for no respawn. Nuke getting the instant buy on his op. They really seem to want these off. That one has to hurt. With not much on the side of Agency, they lost their op immediately. Their only saving grace is that failed smoke by BZ4, but I feel like it won't be enough, as the A-side control is firmly in the hands of no. With 1 player flanking from Talus, though. It is Antic, and he does get the kill. But now they know his position, and they are in a 2v4 setup still. Make that 1, with Antic being the only player remaining, and he goes down to Berlin, spray through the. Caleb showing us his best spin bot imitation. Ringleader with the full flashed headshot on Decodester. That one has got to hurt. And you can tell that No Respawn is feeling confident as they just run straight through that. It didn't work out for him great, but they do manage to get a second kill on the round. It is now only Swiggity Swag with the op, and he does go down to Chubbs, who gets that off. No Respawn's confidence hurting them a little bit in that round.
As long as they keep themselves nice, cool, and collected, they should easily be able to keep their.
Indeed they should. Having already won the half, I'm feeling confident that they'll be able to get at least a few more rounds.
Someone leaving the bomb behind.
A bold strategy. Let's see how it plays out for them. A missed shot there by Swiggity Swag onto Antic, who takes him down to 4, and with the nade follow-up does get. That is a rough start to the round for No Respawn. But it is traded back by Berlin, who has been naded down quite heavily, with Chubbs and Connector. But Berlin manages to get a second on the round, and they have control of the bomb. Ringleader with a beautiful shot there onto Nuke. It is now a 3 against 2 with only Codester and Saber Sochi left. Saber Sochi only with a scout on the B site, but they elect to go towards the... With Codester left only on 5 HP, it will be quite a rough round for Agency to manage to win. And now they heard the scout on Cab. And that is the round for no respawn.
Ringleader is slowly bringing back his position on his leaderboard. He's
Indeed
definitely
he
getting
is.
back into the groove of things after his poor performance at the beginning.
Sometimes it takes a little bit to warm up between games, but he definitely is showing that he's still a vital part of this team, and that no respawn, no matter which player you're talking about, are able to show up, especially in this. No Respawn now slowing down their play a decent bit, trying to see if Agency decides to get aggressive anywhere, which they do. Unfortunately, it appears to be in the one place that No Respawn was not. This should be at least one kill here for Chubbs, with a kill from Saber Sochi onto Ringleader. And one from Codestron to Caleb. And there is the kill with the backstab on the Swig. It is now a 4 against 1 with only BZ4 on the side of No Respawn. At this point, it might be smart for him to just focus on doing damage, but he does actually have a clear avenue onto the B. A nice shot there on Attic, and this round has just gone from dire from No Respawn to quite win.
Chubbs was waiting for him, picks him off at the end of the round.
Chubbs had enough, clearly. Didn't want to give him any more false hope and just decided to end it. Had a perfect read on the situation. And now it's actually No Respawn having to make some tough economic decisions. On the other hand, on the side of Agency, they couldn't ask for much more other than maybe a few. Ooh, that was a nice pick there on the Chubbs, though. A nade doing a lot of damage on the side of No Respawn, but no one. A beautiful spray transfer there from Caleb, and now it is a 2v1. A round that No Respawn had no right winning. They now have a massive advantage. It is left on to Saber Sochi to prove himself in this game and prove he deserves a spot on this round. Unfortunately, it was not destined to be. No Respawn stealing a 5th round from Agency. With that, Agency definitely has enough to pull some sort of buy into this round, but it won't be with No Respawn having more than enough money to get everything they would have wanted. Now, Ian, I know that we were talking about how good of a map this is for opping, but No Respawn. It's not just me. No Respawn buy too many ops.
Well, sometimes you just have to read the game that you are playing and see where you want to go. In Mirage, your op positions are mid and A. Opping at B, too much opping at B, you don't have those open spaces to make those clear lines of shots.
Very true. And
I haven't seen too many 3 or 4 or 5 ops this round. They've mostly been sticking to 2 ops.
I would love to see myself a 5-op T setup on Mirage. In a league like this is the place we'd see it too. Unfortunately, we won't get the chance this half. as it has been closed out by No Respawn, pulling out the 11-4 half.
That 7-point lead may just be too much for Agency to bring up the three.
And that is unfortunate for them. I hope they do manage to pull it back and make this game close. Because if they manage to play like they did on the first half of Overpass, this game could easily turn itself. Agency showed in that first map that they have the skill to win any map.
There was plenty of support for Agency at the beginning of our first round here. I wonder how those fanboys are feeling now. A little bit of banter back and forth in the chat between No Respawn fans and Agency's fans.
And I feel like I hope for the sake of the Agency fans that Agency does manage to put on a good TC. But if No Respawn managed to win this pistol, it might be kind of tough for them. They really need to make something happen going into this round, as we do get into the second half of Mirage.
Sometimes it really doesn't just come down to all that skill, but it's just that momentum from the first couple of rounds that can really bring you through the rest of it.
With that nice pick on the Swiggity Swag, this round could easily go in the favor of Agency. All the frags going their way now. They have not lost a single body, and it is only Berlin left on the B site. Caleb throwing out the quick GG after this round loss. Of course, with a player like Berlin, this round is far from over. This round is... I really need to stop saying when rounds are or are not over, because I think I have gotten Berlin killed several times.
Caleb throwing out the GG at the close to the end of that round may just be what Agency needs to tilt No Respawn.
That was quite the premature GG. You gotta wonder what he was thinking going into that. Obviously, these players know each other fairly well, been playing in the league for a while. I imagine it was some good-hearted banter. With a nice pick there onto Nuke, but the SMGs on the side of on the side of Agency are really doing some work now. It is 3-3, so No Respawn definitely still has a chance going into this retake. They seem to know the positions of the players. And now it is 2 versus 1. With Antic going down, will there be time for the defuse?
Neither of them with the defuse kit. It's going to be close.
Swiggity Swag probably going to run away after this one, and he will not get it. Swiggity Swag did not run off the bomb site, and unfortunately, he did lose his life. They could have saved themselves a gun into that round, and unfortunately they weren't able to do. That one must be heartbreaking for No Respawn. So close to being able to end the game. Nuke getting a tag on the Swiggity Swag, but Swiggity Swag taking back just a little bit harder. And you can tell that these boys on the side of No Respawn are just having fun at it. They feel confident because we see Caleb in apps ready to wreck some face with his Nagant.
In the end, it is all about having fun.
And that is definitely the main focus of us in this league here. With a nice pick there for BZ4 onto Codester. He should be able to recover that gun quite easily. Little do No Respawn know that most of the pressure is towards the B site, but it does not matter with Caleb, with the meme. Does manage to get 2
Caleb and his mobile lawnmower.
Oh, that dirty shot of Berlin through the wall into the head of Antic. That one's really gotta hurt. The mobile lawnmower paying for itself in spades. That. And that was actually the money of agency right there. They cannot afford to buy out very well at all this.
Chubb's looking to hit someone with our good old Zeus.
And with how aggressive No Respawn has been playing, it's very possible. They have been liking their play. But he does decide to withdraw from his position and has pushed out onto tech. But he has been heard, falling back. And the player in Palace appears to have also been. But that is the AK down on the side of Agent. Antic does manage to get the kill onto Berlin and does have an AK. And they do have a fairly clear path into the B side aside from the player in Mark. That is an op watching them, and it misses its shot onto Antic, who does nade himself something. I was worried there for a second that Nuke would kill himself with that second. Coaster going down on the A site, and now it is only Antic with an AK and a Dream, and a headshot onto Swiggity Swag. A second onto Caleb, it is now a 2 versus 1 with Ringleader up in apartments, ready to go out if the bomb plant. 20 seconds, Antic clearing his market. But that is not where either of the players are. He does get the shot onto Ringleader, and he does plant safe from Cat. This is very winnable for Antic. He will need the ace to do so. He has spotted out B. It is a life lead for BZ4, and this one could go either. Beautiful shot. Stealing once again the ace from a player on agency. BZ4 does not want these agency players to get too many ings.
Agency not having much more choice than to just use pistols make it very difficult for them to pull up any sort of lead at this late in the round. This late in the match, my mistake.
Agency does have... you can tell that their team coordination is kind of questionable at points. With the players, some players electing to buy in some rounds and others electing to full save, their money really has been all over the place. They do manage to get a pick on a Swiggy Swig though, but they have been spotted out by the players of No Respawn. It is now only Saber Sochi with a pistol and a Dream. And Caleb going for the ace actually. Will
Sabers does have the op.
And he does have Caleb's skull. But that will be it as Berlin manages to trade it out, and it is now 14-6 for No Reason. Nuke electing to get the scout as opposed to a rifle, as opposed to an AK here. It's an interesting choice, and it may work out for him. A beautiful shot there from Codester onto Caleb. And a very nice smoke onto the stairs from Pal. But that is Ringleader with a kill on the Chubbs, and Antic trading it back. It is a 3 versus 2, or 3 versus 4. Agency yet to actually commit to anything though. Historically speaking, has the multi-op setup ever worked out in favor of No Respawn?
No, not really. Anything more than 2, they tend to have lost that round.
And it is such an expensive commitment. It is interesting that they continue to make. And now they are left to try and retake with the 2 offs, which will be quite hard for them.
Noticing in the chat right now, a couple of claims that Berlin is cheating. Although, watching the game, I have not seen anything. Have you?
I mean, that spray onto Antic's face from in tabs was maybe a little bit questionable, but I think with clear line of sight from Caleb, it was obviously not wall hack. First off, this is a recreational league. There is no money on the line, and I don't think any of these players would risk a ban just for the sake of saying they won a match. Second, having talked to Berlin, trust me, him and Caleb have good enough communication that if one of them calls something out, the other will hit their shot. These are maybe not the best players in the world, but these players do know what they are doing, and they have good aim, they have good, and occasionally they will hit wall bangs. That's just the nature of the game. Ringleader electing to take a pause here on the side of no reason.
Spicy game so far. Games have been kind of spicy there, Bishy. A lot of back and forth.
Jumping back into the game here. No Respawn electing to step up their scope game, bringing a scout into this round, and wanting the 4 scopes going into this round, but deciding maybe 3 ops was too much.
Have we really nailed it down to, is it 3 ops or is it 3 scopes that has been the problem for no reason?
Honestly, no respawn hasn't really dedicated themselves to the scout that often when their money. I'm somewhat surprised to see Ringleader deciding to use it here. Caleb giving a pretty good smoke to cover his position. Unfortunately, it also completely blocked his line of sight. Berlin is pushed up with the off-end apps and does get to pick onto Nuke and has seen the bomb. That is Ringleader with a second kill. Unfortunately, it was onto his teammate Swiggity. Chubbs with a no-scope onto Caleb's face, and this round just got a whole lot more interesting. A nice shot there from Antigon to Ringleader, not allowing him a second kill in the round. But BEZ4 is in a good position and does get a kill. The bomb will have a hard time making it to the A side with the position BEZ4 is in, and it does look like it is deciding to go back to the B side instead. Unfortunately for no respawn, they have no one watching the catwalk area, and the bomb plant should be for. Not sure what tipped them off there, but no respawn has started rotating immediately towards the B. And with an AWP and a NOG, they aren't in a terrible position. But with that pick onto BZ4, it has just gotten much worse. And that will be an 8th round in favor of Agency. A quick push up from Codester, and he has full mid control. With heavy save on behalf of No Respawn, they've elected to have all their players directly on site. And BZ4 is hiding, it looks like, in Ninja. Will he be checked for? He does not have a kit, but he does have a smoke, so he may be hoping to get some sort of ninja defuse here.
Goes
Already
for it
going for the
immediately. Has anyone noticed?
Yes, they
There
have.
they go.
And the round is over. No frags going over the side. No reason. 9-14. Agency definitely has made a game out of this one. They started off kind of slow in this game, but last few rounds they've really been putting a lot of pressure on No Respawn, who's just kind of throwing together whatever buy they can get at this point and playing a lot more aggressive than they have been up until this point. It's interesting to see that even though nothing's changed on the side of Agency, a lot has changed on the side of No Respawn, and it's no longer working. That being said, that shot on the swing from Sweetie Swag on the Chubbs was quite nice. And with aim like that, they can really win any round they want, doing whatever they want, if they keep hitting those shots.
After 3 games, though, you tend to get a little tired of everything. You probably start slipping a little.
Very true. And with these, obviously, recreational teams, I feel like tactics are one of the first things that goes out the window. The teams are have an incredible amount of skill mechanically, but that is the majority of it, as tactically you have to commit a lot more time than some of these teams maybe are. It is down to a 2v2 though. Fortunately for Agency, they do have fairly good B-site control and will be able to plant fairly safe, having Codester pushed up into market. Both players for No Respawn are quickly moving up catwalk, and it will be up to Antic to try and get both of these killed. With only 10 seconds left, if Berlin just hides, this round will. What was that shot?
You know what?
I think Caleb is more mad about that shot than anyone. If No Respawn win off of that shot, I don't know what I'm gonna say on behalf of it. Like, I will feel unclean seeing the series end with that. After that kill, I want Agency to at least bring this one to overtime. Berlin getting a nice shot onto Codester there, and it is not looking good for the side of Agency, though. Swigby Sway getting another onto Chubbs, and it is a 3 versus some heavy damage done onto No Respawn, and a nice pick on Ringleader there. There's another one, and it is now a 3v. A lot of damage on either side. The bomb is actually near T-spawn though, and I'm not sure if Agency will commit to this A site. They've given a lot of time. And it does look like Sabersochi is moving towards that T. With only 30 seconds left, though, he will have to be quick.
He's taking it perhaps a little too slow, speeding up.
10 seconds left.
No respawn or in the wrong place.
You will have to go. Oh, has he? He has lost the round.
Not.
That is the game. That is the game off of a self molly there. That was definitely not the way we wanted to see that game end, folks. Quite unfortunate for Agents. A good showing for them going into that second half of Mirage, but it was not quite enough. That does mean no respawn. Advances into the second round of play. Just looking quick, I believe that means they will face Hot Garbage in the next round of playoffs. The only undefeated team in
Hot Garbage is truly a sight to behold.
They are definitely not akin to their name. The only thing left as Hot Garbage after they play is the spirits of the other team. Of course, we do have another game to be played on the 13th, the other semi-final game, the other quarterfinal game between Top Shelf and Ricochet. Ricochet, of course, playing against Frostbite in a decider match for who got to go into playoffs, winning that 2-0, and now playing Top Shelf, who is the third-ranked team in the. That'll be an exciting one, and then we will have the semi-final matches between Farm Life and the winner of Top Shelf and Ricochet, and Hot Garbage and No Respawn, who managed to edge out Agency today. Looking at these scorelines, you've got to say that Caleb starting to show up after the first match was a big turning point for No Respawn.
It definitely was. He did his best in Game 2 there. He seems to have been slowing down a little bit here in Game 3, but in the end, he actually did a very good job.
Yeah, definitely. And, it really was a team effort. It really was a team effort on behalf of No Respawn, with each of their players having their own moments to maybe BZ showing up a little bit less than his teammates, but with the amount of clutches he managed to win, you got to give the guy some credit. He won the rounds for his team that counted most.
Yeah, very much indeed. I do believe Flex is here to say a few words. No.
Flex is not here to say a few words, unfortunately. He said something about not wanting to speak to the stream. I don't think he likes you guys very much. Sorry. But that will be it for us today. As said earlier, we will be back on the 13th at 6:30 for the game. 14th? It got moved to the 14th. For the game between Ricochet and Top Shelf. That should be a fun one, folks, and we'll see you then.